So it's not, we're not trying to integrate into their police force or anything like that. We're trying to deconstruct the relationship that the police have with our community. And like for instance, we were just up here at Four Corners, so giving out the newspapers. Is that how you got this?
Yeah, matter of fact, you caught me at the light.
Okay, so like we were here, and the woman at the gas station, we call them petty merchants, because they come in our community. They're like Arabs or Chinese or Koreans or whatever, and they call the cops on us. And she called the cops this morning, and so she can expect the cops will come and attack us or do whatever it is, and to get us off her property or whatever. We weren't even on her property on the easement. And, she called the cops, lied, and said this is what we were doing. We're just handing out newspapers, but she can do that because she knows the police function this particular purpose.
And to me, that's solely like that's horrendous, because they can come in our community and set up shops, but we can't make money.
Exactly.
Like, K-Town come down here and sell chicken, rice, and gravy, but we can't go there and hawk shrimp fried rice.
We can't, and that even they won't even go in the white community and do this. You think an Arab can go in a white community and then call the cops on white people? And
then this is the cold part about it. They'll tell us, hey, there's no money in your community. Yeah. But still like, they're the biggest profiteers with those gas stations and those loans.
And this is all that's in our community too. So, so this is all we got to patronize. So we can't go nowhere else. We can't go nowhere for us because what's here? Exactly. We got a whole empty soup, nothing there for us. So all people can do in this community is go to this.
What it is, they won't give us the loans. And on here, another part I was looking at, I would like to see with the, I don't know exactly where it was, the affordable housing.
Yeah.
With that part, I feel like an education should be given in those housing. So when it comes to someone being in a low-income neighborhood, I feel like they should have to take economic classes so that way they can get out. Because like I see it from where I'm from, Arcadia, people really pass down the projects generationally like it's a home. That shouldn't be the case. The whole idea of the projects was for you to live there, low-income housing, get your money up, get some education, and move out to somewhere that's more respectable, more reputable. But they think that's just the end-all be-all. When like, I would want to know, what would you do once you get control of the housing, as far as providing education, economics, to show, hey, I know you're here, but this is how you can get here, as far as like managing credit, wealth, and building those things.
So I want to answer two things for you. One, because I want to finish the Black community control of the police thing, because as a part of deconstructing that relationship, we feel that our community, it's a just democratic demand for us to be able to hire, fire, train, and discipline those who should function as a police in our community. So, and that the person will live in our community. So I know this person, I know where they live, they know me, they know my family, and we have a relationship. They have a stake here, not coming from outside and they don't know us and they act, all.
It's an occupying force.
Right, exactly.
So this is why, because I like this, because I was reading it and I was like, I'm not going to brush you off because you look like me. So I was like, I read the 10-point plan, and like for the most part, I agree with it.
So so that's what we feel like we have the right to demand that we should have Black community control of the police, and this is what it would look like. And so that way, the function that the police serve at St. Pete headquarters, it won't function that way in this community.
Because they look at us like vermins.
And they come here looking for problems, and they come here creating problems. So that's why they're not here to protect nobody, serve nobody, except for the interests of the, of white people, the white community, and everything. Yeah, I'm not a Christian, because the white community has everything at our expense. They have everything that the white community has. They didn't get it because they're more savvy, they work harder than us. No, we put in the labor and the hard work that built the economy that they have today.
And like how they did I-75, it messed up the Black community. Same thing with Miami, with I-95, they put it in that split the community. And to me, I don't know why people think white ice is colder. It's not. You have to reinvest in your community. So
and then to the affordable housing thing. So one of the things that it's an issue for me that we want to we want to get out. That's the problem.
And that's the big. You're right, because at the end of the day, why is it that
we want to get out?
Not even so much get out. why is it that across town is better than what you have?
Right, exactly.
Because they'll say gentrification. Oh, these crackers came down here and stole what you had. No, we're giving it to them.
Well, I mean, it's not a matter of giving, because I know from people I've talked to, I be knocking on doors all the time, and they're elderly black people who get cold called on them all the time with their paint chips and all that, because these are predatory developers that are coming in to try to take their home. So if a black person say, I'm not selling, then they call code enforcement on them, and they don't send nobody out there to come help them fix it up.
Exactly.
No, they're coming to pray and take that stuff. So we don't even have power to, even decide what we want to do with our stuff. We don't have it. So they come and they want to take it, they can, and they create all these intimidation tactics to make it possible. But what I'm trying to create is, in our community, the ability to feed, clothe, and house ourselves and have a prosperous community. That way we don't have to be looking at other people's, other people's stuff, but just looking outside of our community for it when it could be right here. And the reason we don't have it is because the community the community we're aspiring to be a part of, has it all at our expense. All of our labor, everything we've ever done, that, like I said, the tourist economy here, it could not be possible without the labor of black people. And that's where all of our genius, our expertise, and our resources are gone. Now it's time to use all of that to build our community. That way we can have the nice houses that our community can look like what the white community looks like without gentrification, and based on the needs and determinations of our people.
So like with the code enforcement, when they call, is there something that we can put in place as far as like a community outreach for like the elderly to call and say, hey, this is happening, could you guys come out?
Yeah, we definitely need to establish, these different kinds of measures that are going to protect black people from predatory developers. And the fact of the matter is, the city council, the people who are currently in office, they work for these people. That's why they can come in here and do whatever the hell they want. That's why we want to get these developers, these people who work for them out of City Hall, or they have to meet the people have to apply pressure to this government to make it happen.
To me, a career incumbent and a career prosecutor are two of the most dirtiest people ever.
Right, exactly. So this is why, we're doing what we're doing. And these type of people that are functioning in office right now, they work for the predatory developers. So we want to create a city where developers don't even want to come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody who wants to come and build at our people's expense can be and build in the city. It's a no-go. That's the kind of environment that we're trying to create. But, I think that it is a good idea what you're saying, even in terms of, like you said, community outreach and letting people, that's what we're trying to do though. This whole campaign is community outreach. Letting people know the predatory developers that are calling you, placing code on your house, that's what they're trying to push you out. And this is what we need to do to solve it. So this whole thing is based on.
Because I was reading the reparation plan, and that was the one that jumped out at me most, because I like the whole idea of reparations. However, my whole thing is that, like, just don't throw money at the problem. I need the education to provide me the access to things. So that's my biggest thing whenever I see reparations. And I like your plan, 10-point plan. It's just like some of the ideas I was looking at, I was like, they can flesh that out more.
Yeah, I mean, this is just for the sake of being printed on the newspaper, but if you go on our website, it is really fleshed out. I mean, we have real plans, like for reparations. I mean, we want a mass infusion of capital in our community so that existing black businesses, the very few that are here, and we can create new businesses in our community and all the programs that we want, that our community sees fit, not on white people's terms, because white people go, okay, I can agree reparations, but
this is what I'll give you.
Right, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
This is what I'll give you, and this is my interaction, if any.
Right, and that's not what we're saying. The black community has to be able to determine what's going to come in our community. What do we want for our community? So the programs that you're talking about, the educational programs, child care programs, and whatever else it is that we want, because now finally we have the resources to be able to, because the genius exists in our community.
Of course.
And the talent, all this stuff. I mean, even having this conversation with you, talking about, well, yeah, I have these ideas, etc. And these are ideas that we can never put out because we don't have anything. So, I meet brothers and sisters all the time, just, walking on the street, and they out here in the game and all kinds of stuff. And they're the most brilliant people I've ever met. And this is all they've got, though. So this is all they got to work with. And now they're a part of this campaign, and because they're fighting for this future that I'm talking about. So we want a mass infusion of capital. We want these jobs and businesses in our...
people like that, we should come to them and say, hey, either you can buy from us wholesale or you can't occupy in our neighborhood.
Right, you can't be in this community on your terms. It has to be on ours.
Because at the end of the day, we should be able to have a block to where we can say, hey, you know what? We're not gonna fraternize your business, so you have to leave, because at the end of the day, the money that I give you with my business, it helps put food on your table for your kids. And then you take that money and you don't reinvest in the community, because that gas station is pretty shoddy. It's like, and just in business though, you function off the bare minimum. So whatever, but at the end of the day, they don't care about us. They don't care for us.
That's exampled by the fact that they called the police because we handing out newspapers. You know, so they put our lives in danger. And all we got is paper in our hand, you know what I'm saying?
So how did the officer respond?
Well, we didn't even talk to the officer. The officer came up, put his hand on his belt, just kind of stood there, and we shot a video because we wanted to, you know, talk about the store, talk about what happened, and then also show, you know, the police, you know, and this is what they're here for. So we didn't even talk to them. We don't give them no time of day. We just chuck it because ain't nothing good to come out of talking to the police. So, but yeah, like I said, we want a mass fusion of capital. Reparations looks like that 85 acres of land that the dome sits on, going back to the black community because it destroyed the gas plant, destroyed 100 black-owned businesses. That land needs to go back. That's reparations, you know? So there's a definitive, concrete thing that we can say. And then again, we can create genuine affordable housing. We can create economic development institutions for our community.
Financial equity that we need in our community.
So it's a real practical type of plan. You know what I mean? It's not... And it encompasses everything we need, and it doesn't presuppose that our community can't decide what it wants for itself, because we can.
Yeah, self-determined.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
What was your name again, brother?
Jamal. Eritha, right?
Eritha, yeah.
Eritha. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. My apologies.
No, you're okay.
Eritha.
Yeah, and Hirsch is actually in barbershop, in District 5. She's getting a haircut. That's my dad's shop right there. So.
Okay, the barbershop.
Yep.
I need a line of real things.
Alright.
Alright, cool.
No problem.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, can we get your contact? I mean, would you want to volunteer with these campaigns or anything like that?
Yeah,